This podcast is part of the Michigan Sports and Entertainment Podcast Network. Go to michigansportsandentertainment.com for more great podcasts.
Johnny Derp.
Master of puppets.
Awkward dance parties.
All that and more.
Cody, summon Mike Tyson.
Mighty fist, come to me. Oh shit, wait.
Get it away.
Away, dear.
Get it away.
Away.
How far away is
You
it?
guys, get away.
Gotta get away now. Fucking foul beast away. Away with you.
You're not fantastic beast, you're foul beast.
We know where to find you, though. Just saying. Welcome to episode 62 of the Super Media Bros podcast.
Stop it. Get away.
I'm in that Agent Raw.
Amogami.
Welcome back to Cult Cinema Showdown, you motherfuckers.
Both of you.
The 18th installment. Are you ready for a Nightmare on Sesame Street?
Literally.
Fuck, we are very ready for that.
We weren't before, and here we are, still recovering.
Like, we watched these movies at least 5 hours ago, and, you know, we took some time to just kind of let things settle in and just realize what the fuck we just watched.
Oh, yeah.
Which, the first movie was extremely underwhelming, and we'll get to it shortly. And then the second film was just as underwhelming, but a little better. So,
On the comedic side, yes.
yeah. So if you haven't heard on our social media accounts this week, or if you haven't heard on this podcast, I think the last two podcasts we've talked about this. We're doing Ghoulies versus Hobgoblins.
Puppets versus puppets.
Jesus Christ. And just, where to even start, dude?
There are puppets involved
And that's all you need to know.
in both films, and one is severely underwhelming versus the other.
Which again is just as probably underwhelming but better.
Right.
I guess we'll get into it with Ghoulies. Guys, look, okay, 1984. What do you do when the biggest movie, arguably one of the biggest movies of the year, is Gremlins, and what do you do when you want to capitalize on the fame of a film such as this?
You do something quite similar.
Except
Not so much.
not very good. And I just want to say this, guys, right off the top of our heads. A $5.5 million budget. Where the fuck did this budget go?
Where'd the other $5 million go?
I have no idea where that $5 million went, but I probably could have used it for a million other things. I could have used it for like 5 million other things. 5.5 million other things. Better than this.
Or just one.
You could stop at 5.5 million or just
One.
one. I don't need friends. They disappoint me. Hey, dun. So,
Speaking of Mario 10,
no shit. It's March 10th.
March 10th.
So if you're not celebrating March 10th Mario Day,
go grab a plunger, jump in the toilet, and go, wahoo!
I don't want to jump in a toilet after watching this movie.
Well, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, like, it feels like a toilet, but there was one of these creatures that popped out of a toilet at some point.
So it's like Hard Ticket to Hawaii all over again.
A little bit. Snakes and, like, little bald green monsters that are popping out of the fucking toilet.
Little imps.
Ghoulies, as they call them.
Yeah.
So we'll jump into it, guys. This movie opens on a satanic ritual that's happening. And we will get to names of characters, you know, just as they're introduced, because I'm not even going to lie. I only think I knew about 4 people in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I only remember a couple.
Exactly. So
Because the only ones I really care about are the creatures.
yeah, they made the movie to me. Mm-hmm. So we open on a satanic ritual, and it's Malcolm. That's the fucking dude's name. His name is Malcolm. He's going to sacrifice his kid. His wife, the son's mother, is just like, nah, blah, blah, blah. So he gets his servant, Wolfgang, to take the child,
Away.
and the wife is taking the son's place. So she's sacrificed, and you see these little hairy little monsters that bite her wrists, and it looks like we're going to get that good old, like, 80s Aliens chest burst.
Yeah, which it doesn't.
God damn it. I thought that would save the movie, but it didn't happen.
It just looked like an egg coming out of her chest in between her tits, and it was just like blood.
She was going to have a third bloody tit, like
Yeah.
Total Recall style, except very bloody and like skin breaky.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been totally bad.
But yeah, Wolfgang takes the child away, and then we go, what, 20-something years later?
Yeah, I have to say this. I looked at Malcolm, and I remember I was like, is this Peter McNichol from fucking Ghostbusters 2? Like, for those of you that have not seen it, it's a guy that is caretaking a giant fucking painting that turns out to be paranormal. But goddamn, he looked exactly like him. I know it's not him, but fuck, it looked just like him. Sorry.
And he also looked like Tim from Holy Grail with his little, like, costume with the horns.
Jesus Christ.
Some call him Malcolm.
Was he in the middle?
No.
Damn it.
The child was in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
He did not want to be there.
He did not. So
You're tearing me apart, Dad.
Jeremy, oh, no. So we cut about what 21 years later, and
20-something years.
Yeah, and they may as well have just told you because it's very quite obvious where they're like, we're Jonathan, the main character Jonathan, and his girlfriend inherit his dead father's estate, and we're just going to go ahead and come out and say it. It's Malcolm. They did a very poor job of portraying any kind of mystery surrounding this, actually.
Yeah, because they end up walking to this poorly dug grave, and they're like, what is this? It has a satanic circle on it.
It's just sitting here like, oh, inverted star pentagram thing. We can't make it any more obvious what we're dealing with here.
Who could it be?
Who could this be?
Now.
And then, who could this be now? Dig, 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 dig. Who could this be now? Dig, 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 dig. Grave mistakes were made.
Yeah.
So the caretaker, Wolfgang, who was like, he even knows. He's like, oh, because is her name Rebecca? The girlfriend's name was Rebecca? Or am I thinking of the other movie?
I think it's another movie. I don't know, but...
No, it's Rebecca. So she's like, who is this? And he's like, oh, it's the caretaker. Like, how do you know this? Like, he signed off some paperwork. How do you know this? You know so little about your parents, but you know who the fucking caretaker is.
I mean, obviously knows more about his parents than you think because he owns the whole estate now.
Yeah, no shit. So they waste no time getting into it. They go inside and they go downstairs, and there's this entire library office looking thing, and it's all these books on the occult and magic.
Which apparently Jonathan's going to end up reading most of them, if not all of them.
Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, they proceed to say, well, if you take care of the top floor, I'll take care of the bottom floor, and proceed to clean it, quote.
Yeah, to the best of their abilities.
And Jonathan stumbles upon, oh my God, could it be the satanic circle on the floor?
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
And starts to get interested in it somehow.
Very interested in it. I like that they casually cut to them upstairs drinking wine over at their dinner table, and he's just reading this book. Meanwhile, she's just kind of sitting there like, okay, not that there's anything wrong with doing what you do, but, for the sake of plot, how is she not sitting there every step of the way he finds something new in that basement questioning this shit? Like, she's just sitting there like it's all normal. Like, oh, yeah, you've never dabbled in anything like this. But
so oblivious to it. Don't understand. And then, and then later on, he goes and says, you know what? I'm just going to quit. I'm gonna quit school.
Yeah.
Fix the house.
I'm going to quit school. I'm going to fix this fucking house. And that's that.
Yeah.
And she's very supportive of it, I think. And she's just like, yeah, are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, I think I can. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, she made like a little bit of a fight. She's like, can't you do this until after you graduate? And he's like, but I want to do it now. This is my house. I want to fix it now.
It's my house, and I want to fix it now.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
So she caves in and allows him to fix the house up while she goes off to do whatever the fuck she was doing, because they never explained that either.
Right?
So
but here's what I think is hilarious. She's at the table, and she's like, I've been thinking, chugs wine, we should have a party. It's not like anyone can damage the place, and immediately just cuts to people wrecking the fucking house at this party.
yeah, there's a statue outside, and there's just something hit it, like the glass explodes. And it's like these very obvious comical duo morons that are their friends.
Can we talk about, as nice as this house is on the inside, even before they started cleaning it up, the fucking kitchen doesn't match.
Yeah, because I pointed it out, too. They look like they recorded that scene in a different kitchen or a different room, rather than the room that was in the actual house.
Guys, we need a pickup shot. Just come meet me at my house 6 o'clock tonight. When the sun goes down, we'll film it like it's a party sequence, and I'll cut it in later.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
It's free real estate.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So they get in there and they start partying up, and god damn it, the only other side character I remember whose name Dick, played by a guy whose last name is Dick.
What was his full name?
I don't fucking remember.
It was like a 3-word name. I don't remember what it was called.
I don't fucking remember, but
yeah,
it was hilarious because like his introduction was just great. He's like, I'm Dick,
but you can call me Dick.
He like cracks open a fucking can for emphasis, beer can.
Dick.
Dick. Go look that meme up if you haven't seen it or heard it. It's great. It's on YouTube.
Yep.
Anyway, this party is fucking terrible, guys. Like, when I think about a party, especially in a movie from the 1980s, I don't think about this kind of a party. I think about seeing shit, where people look like they're having fun. These guys, I mean, I'm being judgy, okay? Let me just back off. They may have been having fun, but I seriously doubt it was fun. They looked like they had to be on something to have fun at this party.
They were not.
No, and it's very apparent. One of the things that made me laugh, the dude that was trying to break dance on the floor, the guy that looked like fucking Bato from Ghost in the Shell.
Looked like he was having a friggin' episode on the ground.
Spinning on his head. Well, I was looking at this going, is this fucking Breaking to Electric Boogaloo? I mean, I don't think it was the same year that it was released, but god damn, it was close.
He was trying to create the dance, but I think they just kind of like, you know what, we'll improve upon that.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that all of the drugs that the fucking filmmakers were on to be making this film fell out of this dude's pocket.
And for a brief second, they thought he had like died or like passed out, and he was just like, "Oh yeah,
whoa!" It's like Michelangelo Part 2.
Whoa,
whoa!
Oh, my dank is on the ground.
But anyway, so John starts acting weird, which is a stupid fucking way to put it, but we're just gonna say air quotes weird. So he goes into the fucking basement, and this is like the best fucking goddamn party trick I have ever seen in my life. He gathers these motherfuckers in the basement. He's like, I'm going to perform a ritual. I'm going to draw a circle.
And we're going to throw that asses in there.
That's right. Throw that ass in a circle. Draw that ass in a circle. Whatever you do. Just make sure you don't do the hokey pokey.
And turn yourself about.
Because that's what it's all about, guys.
Right.
But these motherfuckers...
Practice safety.
Exactly. Safety dance. Safety dance.
Safety ritualing.
You can ritual if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if your friends don't dance in a circle of death, then they're no friends of mine, goddammit.
No.
Just saying. So they fucking put this goddamn circle.
Ritual dance.
I wish you could see what I'm saying. Yeah, that's it.
Drawing a circle, 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 circle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this goes horribly wrong. And I don't mean horribly wrong like shit immediately happened. He did all this. He's like, I'm going to conjure these motherfuckers. They get making fun of him, doing the hokey pokey and doing fake screams. And he's like, shut up. Like, he's just yelling at him, shut up. Like, okay.
And then you see it's like... And that's it. Parlor trick over.
And it is so funny because they walk back upstairs and they look all defeated, like watching him have done this. You're just like, oh god, this. I really was looking forward to this housewarming party, but I think Jonathan really needs some help.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Yeah.
Just do it. Do it.
But then, all hell breaks loose in the circle.
Because we did find out it in fact worked,
and we get this light of something.
Yeah, boy, was it a something.
And it turned into a deformed rat.
I mean, that's what it looks like. Honestly, this movie had all the makings of what was like. It looked like a little bit of Critters. It looked like a little bit of Gremlins and a little bit of Slime just thrown onto it for good measure. But yeah, it's the same little gremlin that was in the beginning of the movie which, by the fucking way, we never pointed out. When old girl got... when she got bit and that thing burst out of her chest, the little fucking gremlin, the little ghoulie fucking covered its eyes, like, comedically.
It was like,
Now, that's another thing. Both of these movies are comedy horror films, but I don't know. This movie felt very unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
Which is why it's actually funny. But anyway, like, the ghoulie appears. There's like a very... It's like a very cheap scare in one of the bedrooms where this life-size doll pops out at two of the guys going upstairs. He just like fucking pops out. And he's like, oh, and he starts like slapping it. But then they realize When they walked in there, that doll was sitting in a fucking rocking chair.
And then what it reminded me of was Emily Wants to Play.
Oh yeah,
With the
doll that
slappy.
just. Dude, did they put some shit like that? Put some shit like that in this movie.
It was the clown was like, oh, oh, oh.
I don't know why I thought about because I know it was a Poltergeist parody, but in Scary Movie 2, when the clown's under the bed and reaches out and grabs the dude with his dick.
Oh, God.
That's what I thought. I was like, this thing's gonna grab you with its dick.
Well, that's what I thought was the next sequence.
Pulleys.
Or one of the next sequences. The pulleys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yoink. The fuck?
Right? So the next day, John flat out just says, I'm quitting college completely. Like, he was just going to take a few days, but he's quitting for good.
To fix up the house.
We find out that Malcolm is actually controlling him telepathically from the grave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
You know, here's the thing. Rebecca comes home to find him fixing the house or having fixed the house. And he's like, hey, I made this for you. Puts this fucking pentagram thing, which is we find out is the same talisman that his mother put on him to protect him in the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
And he's like, never take it off. And we figure, well, maybe that's a little, I'll never take it off, blah, blah, blah. Kind of an Evil Dead reference where Ash puts the necklace on Lyndon and she's like, I'll never take it off. Maybe that was it, maybe not. But it's a necklace.
It's a talisman.
That's right.
Get it right.
And we find out John is fasting. He's fasting to be able to do these rituals that he wants to do.
He's not hungry. Why? I'm fasting.
Bitch, I don't want your salad.
Or anything.
He doesn't want to eat a fucking thing.
No.
But I mean, it's not really a true fast. He's drinking water. I mean, granted, that's an actual fast, but dude, come on, go that extra step.
Get some protein.
Get some protein. Stop it. Get
a
some
Big Mac.
protein. Stop it. Get a Big Mac.
It won't hurt you.
Right? See here, we've got the Big Mick, not the Big Mac.
Yeah.
So while he's fasting and furious, might I add, he's fasting and furious, performing another. He's going to perform so many fucking rituals in this movie, you guys. Like so many.
They're all happening right now.
Yeah, we're just waiting.
Yeah. And then there's that one main one that he starts.
Oh yeah, because he actually summons the Ghoulies and he makes them like proclaim him as their master.
Right.
But they are only to appear to him, and they are to stay away from everybody else on the whole property. Mm-hmm. The next day, he's doing yet another one. Like, goddamn.
And the bitch makes it rain.
Literally makes it rain. And we were sitting there the whole time going, how the fuck does nobody hear this shit? Oh, and then lo and behold, Rebecca comes down the stairs. And he's like, he does that so ever, like, fucking classic line. Oh, hey, baby, I wasn't doing anything. You're home early. Like, you're home early. What the fuck?
And she decides to be done with everything. And he's like, well, wait. No, I'm done.
But wait.
There's more.
There's more. But wait, I'm going to do more.
So he proceeds to inform her that that's the last of it. He ain't going to do any more rituals or anything satanic from here on out.
Yeah, he was only ever doing this to find out about his parents.
And next sequence is him in bed, lighting a candle.
Guys.
Which he turns the light off eventually, but the freaking lamp looks like it's smoking weed. Because it's a big cloud of like smoke coming out of the top of it.
It was like the top of a volcano that was about to erupt. It was on. There was so much fucking smoke. He turns it off. There's still smoke.
This is the most dankest lamp I've ever seen. Because there was no other inclination of him lighting anything besides the candle right next to it.
Dude, you're talking about how dank that lamp is? What about those fucking bed sheets? It looked like they were laying in red vinyl. Mm-hmm. It was so terrible. They start fucking... But
yeah.
He starts like, what, was he chanting?
He started chanting ritual like words, and she's like, this is not kinky at all.
Getting the fuck out of here. But what I think is absolutely hilarious is he's like, but wait. And then it immediately cuts to him doing another ritual. And I think that edit is hilarious, but he's like, wait, well, fucking bitch is gone. We're fucking conjure some demons again.
Let's not forget, underneath the bed, one of the ghoulies was...
They were drawing a circle.
It looked like it pissed the circle because it had glow-in-the-dark freaking lines. And then she rolled out of bed and saw that circle, and she was like, I knew it.
You're doing it again. Oh, Ed. Ed. Why are you doing that? Get over here and throw my ass in a circle. My ass is thick enough. Rocco.
I'm not even sorry about that.
Sucko.
Sucko. The sucko-matic.
Sucko-matic.
I'll tell you what didn't sucko-matic was this next fucking sequence. God damn
Yeah,
it.
because as soon as she left, he summoned again.
And then suddenly, little people.
Yeah.
Which we thought was, we swear to God that the little dude said green god.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter green god.
It was Grizzle and
Greedy gut.
Greedy Gut. Yeah, we know.
I just want to point out that even after this, Rebecca tried to come back to save Johnny Depp. And we say Johnny Depp because this dude was looking right at her, and he was also at the same time looking at the fucking cobweb in the upper corner that he missed during cleaning.
See, this is the part of computer animation that should have been looked at very thoroughly. So when he's in his mood, ooh, sorry about that.
Pushing that
When
wire.
he's in his mood, his eyes go green, like real green, and his pupils were not straight. One was going forward, the other one was looking towards the right corner of his eye.
You guys ever shake any googly eyes around on a doll? That's this.
Yeah, except one got stuck in the corner.
Really, really hard.
So it was just so hard to take him seriously in the scary tone. He's just like, go, come back, Rebecca.
Yeah, she's about to leave, but he possesses her.
Yeah,
Because I
Takes
think
the necklace off.
she took the necklace off, so he possessed her.
Yeah. But
He was told, wasn't he told by the Greedy Gut and Grizzle that he had to get seven? He's got to get seven people.
Yeah.
To yeah.
This is a dangerous ritual. Don't tell him that. Yeah. But
Fucking was.
but
Same people from the party, right?
yeah, all 7 people. I want to point out a flaw, if you will. So when he summoned the little people, they had a sequence where he was approaching them to gain their allegiance as they were his master, basically. And
They looked like dungeon trolls, honestly, dude.
well, one sequence, Grizzled had a cup in his hand.
Oh, and he's telling him, like, you can either serve me or burn.
Yeah. He had the cup in his hand of the wine that after that scene ended, Jonathan was pouring that same glass of wine in his hand and then walked over to present it to them.
And they already had it.
What?
What in the fuck?
How do you explain this?
There is no explaining. It's a goddamn movie made in '84, and we've seen now, guys. We haven't even gotten into the way these ghoulies look, okay? Because we're about to. They're having the weirdest. They can't throw a fucking actual dance party. They sure as fuck can't even throw a dinner party.
No.
They are all in shades. Jonathan sitting over there looking like the dude Steve from fucking Stranger Things.
The babysitter.
Yeah, best babysitter ever. He's not looking like Jonathan from Stranger Things. He's looking like Steve from Stranger Things. Actually, no, he might as well be both of them. He's being a little creepy, so fuck it. But anyway, the ghoulies are all at the table as well as the guest, and they're just kind of like close-up shots of them.
One's in the turkey, one's in the soup bowl.
Bruh, the one that was in the fucking soup bowl was funny because he just comes out and he's already slimy, but then he's just got all this nasty ass goop around him, and he's just like, yeah, he gets out and he's like, but then the one in the turkey's all,
Just nibbling away.
they look like stupid. They look dumb, but they're like fugly cute.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest thing. It's like I would totally have one of these little bastards just sitting on our podcast table, just looking.
It's like Garbage Pail Ghoulies.
It really fucking is. Because, that's the fucked up part is the movie is shit. Like, we're just not even going to make any balls about it. It's actual shit. But these little fuckers, like, make it so much better. So, he's eating the turkey. Everybody's wearing all these sunglasses. Exactly the 7 people. So, he takes them all down in white robes.
It's the KKK all over again.
I shit you not. Like, it just looked bad. It looked really fucking bad. It looked like they were actually going to be having a fucking clan meeting downstairs. And I was just like, are we really going to this fucking territory? Thank God we didn't.
No, because they summoned some white dude from the grave.
yeah, Malcolm comes back from the middle because he wasn't like in hell or heaven. He was just in the dead
Purgatory.
center. Yeah, he was literally Malcolm in the middle.
Yeah.
None of this movie makes sense, guys. I'm sorry. Like, they didn't really give any kind of inclination on what he was summoning, just that he was doing rituals.
Yeah, because we literally get Malcolm popping out of the grave, just like, ha!
Okay, yeah, the scene where they cut to everybody screaming, different shots of the and then finally Malcolm pops out, like skull and everything.
Praising Jesus.
We fucking died laughing.
Yeah.
It was probably the funniest scene in the entire film. So I just don't understand how any of these people are not finding this out of the ordinary. They're all oblivious. The entire like party are oblivious to everything going on. Just
Well,
why?
it's weird because they go from the dinner sequence to downstairs and then back to the same dinner sequence like nothing happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And while this is happening, Malcolm goes to this, and I'm going to call it the shit ditch. It's like this giant little pond thing in the middle of the property, but it looks like a giant shit ditch. So Malcolm goes down there, and he greets all the ghoulies. And he's like, oh, trying to gather his minions, I guess.
My children.
Bruh, but this is probably one of the best scenes in that fucking, that party couple. I call them party couple because I don't know who any of these fuckers' names are except for Dick
Yeah.
and Rebecca and Jonathan and Malcolm and Wolfgang.
Yep.
So these
Ghoulies.
Exactly. So this couple goes down to the shit ditch, and it makes me laugh because the dude like kind of sticks his hand in the water. He's like, "Oh, the water, blah blah blah." Pulls it out, and there's like
Goop.
yeah, there's like fucking sludge and nasty shit all over it. And then fucking Ghoulie pops out, jumps and attacks him. Just like looks like he's about to like attack his eyeball.
He gets cheeky.
Very. But this is what made me fucking laugh the most is he does that shit, right? So he gets him, and then we were watching this on Prime, and it froze. So the little circular like buffer came up, and it paused right at the exact moment that the ghoulie hit him in the face. Mm-hmm. And it looked like this gimpy ass like mutated frog on his face.
Like a boil just exploded.
It was just so fucking bad. But like this happens, and then the girl gets hit too. Like they attack them, and meanwhile, while they're over there, two of the other guests are outside smoking pot, and they fucking like look up, and the one guy's just like, "That girl's a screamer," and she's screaming because she's being fucking murdered in the back. But
she's being flailed in the face.
dude,
Just filleted.
it was like one of the worst jokes in the whole fucking movie. I mean, this movie is kind of a joke, but still,
They make jokes within the joke itself.
jokeception.
Dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So then what happens? This is whenever the old girl is sleeping in the bed upstairs, and that same giant doll that we talked about earlier that looked like old boy from fucking Poltergeist 2 and the other thing that you said.
Emily wants to play.
Yeah, we'll just call it Emily. We'll call it Emily the Dracula.
Emulator.
Emulator the doll. So Emulator comes into the room. And very creepy, I might add. She goes to leave, and he comes in, and he's just like walking zombified, and he slams her head into the fucking wall when she falls down. This like green claw just comes out of it. There's like a lot of slime and sludge that comes out of its eyes.
And then it just breaks the face open, and here comes Green Ghoulie.
The Green Goblin. It's J. Jonah Jameson coming out. Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter. Just comes out. Hello, governor.
Would you like a ganda?
God damn it, dude. Stop in the middle of this fucking movie. Hello, governor. So,
Where are the other drugs going?
where are the other ghoulies going? Anyway, the giant Dracula dude Malcolm busts through the front door, which I thought was fucking hilarious because as this thing chokes her, you just hear and then the whole front door just busts open, and Malcolm just walks in looking like goddamn like zombified Ric Flair.
Which, by the way, he looks like he stayed permanently in the casket position because he had his hands in front of him the entire time as he walked around.
I think it was about as loud as that truck was when he busted through the front door. It's still going.
But yeah, he crosses hands every time he walks around. He's just like gallantly walking in, just ta-da, with his freaking jazz hands, spirit fingers popping out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Dick comes downstairs and he sees this woman.
Which is Malcolm.
Yeah. So he goes to make out with her, and in a very Freddy Krueger-esque type move, like chokes him out with her tongue. Bloody as hell.
Ooh, kinky.
So, not Malcolm. Jonathan goes back upstairs and puts the talisman on Rebecca.
To wake her up from the nightmare.
God, look, y'all. This is where it starts getting really dumb. More dumb, actually. So, was it Greedy Gut and Grizzle? When they go outside and attack that one fucking ghoulie?
Right.
But
They
like
go
a
and
puppet.
yeah, they go and they literally like hammer down on this puppet and drag it into the bag.
Well, that's what makes me fucking laugh is that it's sitting up there behind this like laid over tree, and they're just walking. One of them's whipping it, looking like Castlevania style, just whipping the fuck out of it, and it's not moving. They're hitting it, and the puppet's just like stiff and just like, and then the other one comes up and fucking hits it with this like a club stick. Yeah. You lose.
Loser.
But yeah.
But that leads up to the stoner dudes. One of them takes off to, I guess, get more smokes or something. I don't know what he's going.
You talking about that one sequence where he walks in? He's like, "Hey, dude, don't bogart that joint."
Yeah, and it turns out to be the two miniature guys, and they have the freaking ghoulie in their hand.
Throw it on him. He fucking just.
And they love the cheekbone. They always go for the cheeks.
Right, dude. Like
no other place on the face, just cheek.
Ghoulies, they're here to make out with you.
Make out or break out.
So yeah, that happens, and then it looks like Malcolm's going to be calling upon the Ghoulies and the dead bodies to the basement, because every time he does it, you see like the corpses, the ones that have died, kind of moving around and shit, and just.
I know. He's just summoning every child that he has to come to him, and you see everybody that died just wriggle their way to them, and freaking homegirl Rebecca just comes out of bed and is just like freaking out. What the fuck is going on?
So goddamn it. But
Jonathan!
how could you fall down the goddamn stairs?
Jonathan!
What was
Hennessy!
like
Hennessy!
like?
But no, yeah, Jonathan walks out, and Rebecca's on the stairwell. It's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and just falls down.
Right? It looks like she's like waving a giant fart his way. I'm so sorry. Waves the fart at him. Fucking
Falls down and dies. And
dies
he's
from
like,
the stank.
and he's like, no, I can bring you back.
Yeah, he just no. I swear to God, insert Darth Vader. No. She falls down. There's that truck again. That's about how loud it was.
Bro. Sounded like my ass earlier.
God. Like her ass when she was fanning that fart at him. So he brings her down to the basement because, resurrection is a thing in this movie, apparently. He finds every one of his friends dead in the fucking cloaks again.
Just sporadically. Hey.
Unmasks them. Loudly, like that truck. Dead bodies everywhere.
Let the bodies hit the...
They already hit the floor. They hit the floor so hard they went to the basement.
Yeah, they wriggled the way over there.
Wriggled their way, like rigor mortis.
Yeah,
God
rigor mortis their way. They have stiff competition coming up.
Film at 11. Anyway, Malcolm finally shows up and reveals what everybody fucking knew because it was obvious as shit.
I am your father.
He's like, hey, thanks for, he could have just walked in and be like, hey, I just want to tell you, thanks for getting all these people in there. The one person is choking to death back there already. Yeah. So we'll get to her in a second. But
Come on, Malcolm, quit.
So thank you for getting all these bodies down here. I'm going to fucking take your body over once this is done because I want your youth and I want to reign supreme, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because he was trying to do the same thing when he was a child. So he would have gained like way more youth if he would have succeeded back then.
Also, that proactive worked really well on his skin.
Yeah.
Because he was pale white and deteriorated like not but 10 minutes ago. And all of a sudden, he's just like, oh man, I got clear skin.
But here's the funny part. He's about to choke the shit out of him, and then he gets this giant fucking spear right to his back.
Yeah.
Wolfgang shows up to save the fucking day, because we find out that Wolfgang has some magical powers too.
He's a magician. I mean, he's a sorcerer.
Supreme.
It's kind of strange.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
He's not a doctor, but
and
it's
he just like teleports down to Malcolm, and they literally have like a choke contest. of staring.
Guys, look, Malcolm, we've mentioned, looks like discount Ric Flair. Jonathan, I swear on everything, Jonathan looks exactly like discount Tom Cruise. And this is where we started fucking dying, because Cody just looks at me and he's like, huh, Tom Cruise, Satanology. And it was probably like the funniest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
It makes total sense.
Total sense of the heart. Yeah. Anyway, they fight. The house starts falling apart, so everybody winds up bailing. Like, all of a sudden, everybody's resurrected. I don't know how, but everybody's resurrected. I'm assuming once Malcolm was murdered, that was it.
But let's not forget Wolfgang and Malcolm's like seeing contest or the staring contest with the laser lightning. Like, they literally had each other in chokeholds in front of each other and just staring at each other at the same time, shooting lightning into each other's faces. Just pew, pew.
Again, this is some Lady Terminator shit.
And then Wolfgang gets the upper hand, shoots lasers back at his face. Not even doing anything, they're just shooting him.
Fuck you, laser. Pew, pew. No, fuck you, laser.
And then proceeds to, yeah, everything falls apart to shit.
Just like the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, they get out. They drive off. Mike is sitting there. He's like, what the hell just happened? Blah, blah, blah. Is it over? Yeah. Yeah, Mike, it's over.
And here are the ghoulies in the background.
I want to know, how the fuck did all of those people fit into that fucking Bronco?
No telling.
Was it a Bronco?
I don't know, some kind of old-time SUV.
Yeah, but there's no way they all fit in that son of a bitch. That's Ghoulies, y'all.
Unsolved mysteries. Did they fit in the Bronco? Were we deceived? More at 11.
God damn it.
Update, they fucking did.
I just don't know, dude. This movie has a promising premise, but the execution is shit.
Like we said in the beginning, the only promise about this whole entire... The best part about this film was the Ghoulies. Because it was like a comedic break that actually was funny, rather than being so bad it was funny.
Yeah.
It's like they had that one sequence where Jonathan was reading a book, and one of the Ghoulies popped up from the side of him, grabbed the book, and like wiggled down the arm of the chair. How did he do this?
I don't know.
He little bitty hands holding his big old book, and he had 2 legs. How did he crawl down like that?
It's like Deadpool's baby hand trying to hold a fucking like Encyclopedia Britannica. Mm-hmm. It's like fucking huge. Huge.
This book is gonna be huge.
The book is gonna be huge. Speaking of huge, the budget for this was big for the time, and goddamn, we still ask, where did it go?
Where did they come from?
Where did it go from Budget Eye Joe? Or I don't
Something.
know, Ghoulie Eye Joe. Fucking Derp Eye Joe. There we go. Fuck you, Johnny Derp.
Yuck.
So you go from a $5.5 million budget film to a $15,000 budget film directed by Rick Sloan, released in 1988, called Hobgoblins.
Where do we start with this one? How about the blatantly obvious? They filmed all the sequences when it required one camera angle at the same time, because they didn't really move a lot when it comes to the camera.
I don't think, looking back on it, watching it, when you watch movies, you think, oh, they have a lot of set locations. I don't think this movie had very many set locations.
It was like 2.
Well, yeah, because most of the movie takes place between, I think it takes place between the house that everybody parties at, and the movie studio where the guards work. Mm-hmm. So the movie opens with a security guard named Dennis that is investigating this film vault at this studio. Which, long story short, he's being trained by the older guy, and he finds this vault.
Not the Disney vault.
No, definitely not the fucking Disney vault. But he walks in and it's so fucked up because there's really we don't get really any context about what's going on until I think maybe halfway through the film, if not further.
Yeah.
But he all of a sudden like bumps into this microphone and he has this like vision or he starts like dancing to this music and singing here and there. I don't even think he's singing in the mic. There's just some music playing and he's grabbing the microphone and he looks like he's this front man for a rock band, like a popular rock band.
Mm-hmm.
And he just dies. He falls off the stage, and then the older guy goes to check on him, and he's fucking dead.
Seals the vault back, runs back to the owner of the studio, was like, oh yeah, he quit. He quit life.
Yeah, he quit the fuck out of life.
So he gets a chewing out of that, saying, yeah, you've been getting these people hired, and they get, they leave after a couple of weeks. And you get another person, happens again, you're fired.
Well, I mean, before that, like, McCready, who's the older guy, goes and shuts the door.
Yeah, that's what I said. He shut the door.
Yeah, he's like, why the fuck would you...
Doesn't even pull the body out. Just like, oh, yep, shut. I'm not doing this.
Good old title credits, yeah. Who are the Fontanelles? That's what we asked ourselves when we watched this movie. Like, who the fuck are the Fontanelles? When we find out they're a band. But...
Starring the Fontanelles.
Yeah, it's like they got title credit on this, and it's kind of funny.
Like, it wasn't like music by or music incorporating. It was just, and the Fontanelles.
Just reminded us of Samurai Cop. Are you
Fontanelle?
So,
bingo.
yeah. So, yeah, we get back, and you were saying, McGreedy's boss just fucking chewing his ass up and down for letting people get, like, quit and shit.
Quitting.
Yeah, quit.
Get a quit.
So I love how you just sit there talking about, like, you need to hire somebody, blah, blah, blah. Like, immediately.
Basically calling him too old to be doing it much longer because he can't keep up with everything. So
yeah, but it just immediately cuts to his brand new hire, which is main star or main character Kevin. This fucking guy here, dude.
So they basically walk up to him and it's like, yeah, so I'm gonna train you how to be a security guard. Oh, I'm gonna take notes.
Okay.
What do you need notes for?
That doesn't look like a very big place to protect.
No.
Because he takes him down to this fucking corridor. It shows him the vault that he's supposed to protect, but tells him to not go in it. If you're not worried about this vault...
It has heavy machinery, apparently. Dangerous machinery.
Dangerous, very, very heavy metal.
But let's not forget probably the best part of this scene. When he's like, oh, and I want to give you this and show you how to use it. He pulls out a fucking revolver, a hand revolver, and... waves it in his face. Oh, you may not use it, but you have it.
He's just holding it and wiggling it around in front of his face.
And Kevin's just like, oh.
I love it. You're like, you put the remote control in my face. You're like, look, I'm going to show you how to use this. And I had that pen. He's like,
yeah.
Do you know how to write? Here. Because that's kind of what it was like.
Yeah.
It was pointless.
Not pen, but pointless.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot.
So, yeah, shows him the corridor saying, never go down there. It has dangerous machines.
Yeah, I guess if you want to call them machines, they're definitely not machines.
More than meets the eye.
Can we talk about after this when Kevin goes home, meets his friends?
Yeah, his girlfriend's at the door and it's like, no, not now. Your friends are here. And there's pans to them. One of them has the record in hand and just looks at it. It's like, oh, hey.
Yeah, Daphne and Kyle, which, I mean, Daphne.
God. Duh.
This bitch.
No, Kyle.
Kyle was pretty good comic relief in this movie, yeah.
His only saving grace is, can I use your telephone? I need to call my girlfriend.
Yeah, and his girlfriend is a fucking 900 number sex line.
Fantasia.
Yeah. Fantasy Fantasia. How funny. You guys were really clever when you thought about that name.
Oh my God. I never thought of that.
No shit.
Fuck.
Yeah. But what I fucking laughed at and cringed at too was the fact that Daphne was just like, yeah, we like to go to video stores and blah, blah, blah. Like, talking about how her dude better never bring her or anything home less than an X rating or some shit.
Adult movie.
Yeah, because they are making it overly obvious that she's sex crazed, and then her army boyfriend fucking comes home, and this dude's kind of a doucher too, Nick.
Well, it's funny how she introduces him. It's like, yeah, it's been 2 months, and you know what he wants after 2 months, and then it pans to him getting out of the van going, yeah, pumping his freaking groin in the air.
Yep.
2 months! And then she runs out, oh my God, it's been 2 months! It's like, okay, we fucking get it. It's been 2 months.
Yeah, and here's where the other person I have a problem with in this movie. The girlfriend, Amy. Kevin's girlfriend? Oh my God.
How much of a cunt can a woman be?
Like,
look at Amy.
Jesus Christ. And Like I've seen dudes act like this. I've seen women. I've seen people act like this. And if anybody acts like this, you're a piece of shit. Like
You're a doucher.
nothing this guy does is good enough for her. Like at all. Like
She wants to
nothing.
be proud of him.
He's got a job. He's he makes an honest wage. Like he's a security guard. But just because he's not Nick, he's just not good enough. Because he's always being compared to Nick.
Which they end up making Kevin train by Nick to learn how to fight hand-to-hand combat.
Guys, this is the fucking most prolonged piece of shit scene in this whole movie. They go outside in the front yard and grab a rake and a fucking yard hoe.
And they literally do the whole, if you remember Robin Hood Men in Tights, where they do the sticks
Yep.
and they just tap each other's sticks in the middle. That's basically what they do the entire time. However,
The music.
they had like the typical fight sequence music, but then every time they hit sticks or hit each other, you hear, ding,
Yeah, like it was the orchestral hit. Just bam,
ding.
bam, bam, bam. A bunch of times.
And then you see Amy in the background, just, get up.
Yeah, all this happens, and then she just shits all over him. You embarrassed me.
Yeah.
Like what? Because as soon as he loses, Nick and Daphne go fuck in the van because it's shaking around.
Immediately, like as soon as they get inside the van, it like shakes.
Starts fucking moving around.
Like, how do you get your pants off that quickly?
Maybe he wasn't wearing underwear.
Still,
I know, I was being a shit.
makes
But yeah.
no sense.
I don't know. But they go back to the movie a lot, and he's kind of venting to McCready about all this shit. Then a burglar appears.
Yeah, very like Scooby Doo esque, like dun, 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 dun. Yeah, McCready goes to find where he's at.
Oof. McCready's coming for us.
Yeah, we
Like-
talked about him. It's taboo. But yeah, immediately goes to find him, and Kevin's watching on the monitor, and he pulls a knife out of McCready and holds him at freaking on the neck and the throat. Freaking Kevin pulls out the revolver and is like walking up to him. He's like, "Let him go," and he points the gun at the burglar. He's like, "You don't even know how to use that." So he slowly points it in the air and just does like track and field.
It's just straight up in the fucking air.
And the guy just takes off running.
What a twat waffle.
And his response to the whole situation was, "I wish Amy was here to see that."
Yeah, like this poor son of a bitch has been so goddamn brainwashed that hit every literal waking moment he is fucking riddled with anxiety about, oh, I need to impress her because blah. Like, dude, no, you need to dump that bitch and get somebody that actually gives a fuck about you.
Pretty much.
More on that later.
Call Fantasia.
But yeah, so he's so obsessed with impressing her that he follows this crook and he winds up stumbling across the vault that he was told not to go inside. So what does he do?
He goes inside.
And the hobgoblins escape off camera right as McCready finds him. He's like, "What are you doing?" And you hear, and they run off.
Wow, they're fast.
And I'm thinking they're going to keep him off camera for a bit, but no, there's 4 of them and they steal the security golf cart.
And they're the most still looking puppets I've seen in any film.
But I got to tell you, man, they looked good. Like, the design was nice and they looked funny too. Like,
But it's just when the one driving, when he would turn, it would just like
the whole body was
the
stiff.
whole body was stiff. And then whenever they would look at each other, they're like, eh. Like, bodybuilders with their stiff neck muscles. Eh.
They Michael Keaton Batman shoulder turned.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much how it was.
Who are you? Batman.
Who are you? Hobgoblin.
Eh.
They should have had pumpkin bombs.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been fucking great. But anyway, McCready, I swear on everything, like he is starting to explain how the hobgoblins got there. He goes full-blown Christopher Walken.
They just came out of nowhere.
They landed in
In the lot.
the lot, and I kept them in a vault. Is the emphasis on
goblin.
goblins?
Goblins. That's what I thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, hobgoblins. Pretty much.
Yeah, so that's the explanation.
Yeah.
40 years ago.
Yeah, they landed on Earth from wherever the fuck they came from because of the bright lights of Earth, and he kept them in this vault because somehow he knew that they were attracted to very bright light.
And they have this amazing ability to manipulate your mind to your deepest desires and then kill you.
Yeah, they make your fantasies come true and they murder you in those fantasies.
Which is how Homeboy died in the beginning.
They didn't really explain why they're attracted to the sunlight or anything like that, but I would only assume because they wind up going from 4 hobgoblins to many hobgoblins that they can reproduce in the light.
Basically like gremlins with the water.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. God, these movies were so similar to fucking Gremlins, dude.
Yeah.
Like in some ways. Not every way, but just some ways.
Some concepts.
God. And then the fucking voiceover that was explaining all this shit sounded like Vincent Price.
From Thriller.
It's so fucking cheap sounding too.
The Hobgoblins
came out of the spaceship that looks like a butt plug.
And they pop their heads out.
They pooped their heads out.
Oh, that's right. They pooped their heads out.
Stupid.
Like the little shits that they are. Manipulating the minds out of the assholes.
You sound like Bane.
Well then. So, yeah. We're pretty much snoring at this point too. It's just like, oh my god, what the fuck?
I mean, even when the dogs fall asleep,
You know something's wrong.
that's bad.
Yeah.
That's very bad.
So yeah, they explain everything with the alien hobgoblins that the dude called. And he's like, "Well, why don't you go and tell Homeboy that they're there? I did, but he didn't believe me, so I just kept it a secret all this time. But you should tell him now.
I
You
love
should."
that. I love how Kevin thought that anybody would actually believe this shit.
Well, he's willing to believe that this kind of a girlfriend of his would like him.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, anything finds believable.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Why is he so stupid?
I don't know.
Anyway, the hobgoblins are attracted to bright lights, but they must be destroyed before daylight. So now we get a fucking movie plot going.
A little bit of one.
Yeah, a little bit. So let's cut to another party sequence.
Yeah, a very awkward dance sequence.
A very shitty one.
Yeah, it's Kyle, Daphne, and Amy dancing, and I use that term very loosely. They're dancing to this, whatever the fuck you want to call music.
I was going to say something about the music too in both of these movies. The fucking goddamn. I think I've mentioned it earlier in the first one, but this one was just so fucking god awful too.
Yeah.
I love how the hobgoblin just shows up and looks in the fucking. He looks in the window. Mm-hmm. And of course, Daphne like flashes her fucking panties at him.
Yeah.
Walks outside. And
Imitates the horn of her boyfriend's van. That
Oh, that was funny as shit though, dude. Because the little ass hobgoblin's on the fucking grass, like with a little bicycle horn. Mm-hmm. So she comes outside, and like he jumps on her. They fucking tussle in the grass and shit, which fucking hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, because she ends up like having her shades on her head to on her face, and she's wrestling a teddy bear on the freaking lawn at like midnight.
Daphne has her shades on. Do you?
She's the only one, goddammit.
That's right. So she takes the fucking garden hoe from earlier and just beats the shit out of it.
With this weird ass sound effect I've never heard. It's like ding, ding, ding.
How do you get a metal ding from that hitting a soft, smushy object?
I have no idea.
Well, we thought she killed it, but that's definitely not the case. And by the fucking way, the orchestral hits came back. So every time she fucking hit
Ding,
the thing,
ding, ding. Heavy emphasis.
Let's talk about the hobgoblins busting in this bitch and proceeding to dry hump every fucking thing in the room. I know they're supposed to be attacking these people, but I swear to God, the way the puppeteering is, they are fucking them over the clothes.
It's like they're having a freaking epilepsy, just shaking their hands.
Hey guys, you want to see how I fucking make a puppet operate when I shove my hand up its ass? That's it. A lot of shaking, a lot of noise.
So the boyfriend shows up in his van,
Nick
the Dick, and looks in the window, and they're all wrestling teddy bears in the house, and he's like, "Oh, this must be a new dance. That's awesome."
I love how this motherfucker just goes. His first instinct is to get a grenade.
Yeah.
And then Kevin shows up. Kills the entire electricity to the house by flipping a light switch on the inside of the door. And then they stop. Like the record stops, the party stops, the hobgoblins stop.
Everything stops.
Stop it.
The party don't stop.
the party stops when Kevin walks in. He is like anti-Kesha, okay?
Yeah.
This motherfucker. So they leave. The Hobgoblins are now in the van.
They lock them in the van.
Yeah. Well, this is
Quote.
funny because isn't this where Kyle goes and calls the... Yeah, he calls the sex line again. And he leaves because his dream woman from the sex line operation is outside. Which, Jesus
Thanks to the
Christ.
Hobgoblin.
Can we talk about how they introduced this woman? It sounds like a Tex Avery cartoon, swear to God. Like they fucking have a shot of her with smoke billowing out from behind with a big ass light, and you just hear the wolf.
Oh.
Fucking so bad. And it looks like the same chick that Malcolm played in Ghoulies.
Yeah. Like the hair and everything.
Yeah. Fantasia. We're talking about Fantasia.
So, Kevin... No, I'm sorry.
Kyle.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
It's okay.
Kyle proceeds to take Fantasia to
Was it Reputation Road?
Reputation Road
What a name.
to give it to him. And then you see in the back of the car the Hobgoblin just popping out.
And that's what's hilarious too, is that the Hobgoblins seem to be, they don't really emphasize how it is because nobody really sees them when they're in the trance, because it's almost like they're supposed to be appearing as like a dream state kind of like illusion to let the audience know, hey, this is actually a dream, blah blah blah.
But yeah.
So where they get to the road and she tries to push him over the cliff, right?
And-
Doesn't she get out of the car and try to push it?
She put it in neutral and tries to push it off, and Kyle's like, "What are you doing, baby? I say get your ass in the car and stay there."
Don't come out.
So, meanwhile, Kevin finally arrives there and stops Fantasia, which he doesn't do a good job of.
No, she takes the hoe that he's swinging and fucking like throws it.
That hoe takes the hoe.
Right? That he just throws her. But what made me laugh the most was that he comes back because that one Hobgoblin's just sitting on the sign, and he just fucking baseball bats the shit out of it. You just hear, and he fucking.
And then Fantasia just goes, do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
That's almost exactly how it sounds when they fucking die.
Uh-huh.
I swear on everything, I looked to find that particular sound effect without having to just rip it from the film. But I think that is actually the closest that it sounds like when they fucking die.
So, yeah.
They go back and the Hobgoblin decides to attack Kyle in the van. Oh no, he attacks Kevin in the van. Kyle has the worst fucking aim I have ever seen in my life.
He's like, hit him, and he comes down like an axe on the damn Hobgoblin, but he misses because the Hobgoblin moves to the one side, and he purposely misses it.
Every
I don't
time.
know if that's just like how it was supposed to be done, or making Kyle look like a piece of shit for like not even trying to do anything right. But he finally grabs the freaking tire iron from his hands, like, okay, I'll fucking do it, and just bats him in the freaking side and knocks him off.
Oh, really, really hard too. And he's like, finally, what is he? Does he call him a dick or an asshole or a
You're an
dumbass or
asshole.
something?
Yeah, you're a fucking dumbass or something.
Dude, I mean, he ridicules the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. So let's go to where we like just everything. All hell breaks loose. We just lost our fucking minds at this point when they figure out that Amy went to Club Scum.
Why? We don't know.
What is Club Scum, Cody?
Club Scum is literally just anything you can imagine in such a negative way. I mean, they walk to the freaking bars right up front. There's a mugger right out front with a knife asking for their wallets. That they all give their wallets to Kyle. Kyle hands the wallets to the mugger because he had a knife thrown at him, basically. Walk inside. The bouncer, letting everybody in, he stops them at the front. Says, what do you want? Oh, we're looking for someone. Oh, well, that's funny. Get out. We're looking for a certain someone. Oh, I got you. Grabs his random waitress with a freaking beehive 1950s hairstyle wig.
She looks like a fucking rejected member of the B-52s, man.
Beehive 52.
Exactly.
Proceeds to give the inclination of, oh, they're looking for someone. Oh, really? What do y'all want to do?
Yeah, because she's definitely about to sell herself.
She's about to blow their minds.
Literally.
Yeah.
Below their minds.
And, Kevin Stevenson's like, no, we're not here to do that. We're here looking for a certain person that came here named Amy or whatever. And she's like, well, that's the next time I'm going to give you my part of the tip.
Yeah, because they pretty much just kind of trash her a little bit. And like,
He's like, no,
what did
thanks.
She's like, well, what did she look like? Or he's like, did she look anything? The bouncer, he's like, would she look anything like she looks like? And then fucking Kevin, God, I hope not.
Yeah.
That was one of the best lines in the movie.
So Daphne comes in and like introduces herself once again because apparently she's a commoner of here. And
She gets him right in.
yeah, and he's like, well, if you're a friend of Daphne's, then you can come in.
Knock yourselves out.
Yeah.
And
While
you-
chugging a fucking beer.
God, dude. Cody, you fucking pointed this shit out. And I had to rewind it because I fucking thought it was the most hilarious shit ever.
So they're right there at the entrance as they walk into the club, and a couple people walk in behind them, and I immediately just look and go, hey, look, it's Matt Caratus.
Dude looks exactly like fucking Matthew Caritas in a red tank top, long ass black hair. And the first thought that came to our mind was Samurai Cop.
Yeah. This is what he did before he became samurai.
That's right. He was a bouncer. And we talked about his days as a bodyguard on our interview, but we had no idea, Matt, that you had gone to Club Scum and bounced there.
Bounce.
Not judging,
No,
but it was
we're
pretty
not.
fucking hilarious. So
If you haven't seen that part of the movie, Matt, you need to go watch it. just to kind of get an idea.
yeah. So God damn it. So we asked earlier in the fucking movie, or earlier, like while we watched this movie, like, who are the Fontanelles?
And we find out it's just like UK like punk band basically.
Yeah, it's like post-punk, new wave, some shit or whatever. But they play an entire fucking song, dude. Like no like playing in the background while dialogue happens. It was like a fucking music video in the middle of this fucking movie.
It's like pretty much Thriller if you think about it, because they have this long ass video that comes up to the very beginning of their song, and then it plays like a live cut of their music, basically.
Dude, it's so fucking like, and the music's not terrible. It's just like, God, what? Why?
It's like watching Dragon Sound.
But Dragon Sound was so much better.
I know, but it's kind of like the same concept. It's like, and here we are, Dragon Sound, full on fucking music song, play.
Against the goblins,
Friendship forever.
hobbling and gobbling.
Goblin Sound.
Oh my fucking.
Goblin power.
Have a goblin in the background.
God damn it. Did it any fucking way. It turns out that Amy is a new stripper there. And we find out that her fantasy is actually to like shed her very prude personality and become a stripper.
Right.
Wow. Just is this how they were supposed to give her some fucking character development? Because like this actually winds up playing into the fact that she lets her inhibitions go completely after she's like cured of this.
What was her name as the stage? It was like Amy something.
I don't fucking remember, dude.
But
It was so dumb, whatever it fucking was.
yeah, Kevin ended up going to the front. It's like, no, you're done here. And she proceeds to go to the bouncer. And they literally have like this really stupid like hit on each other session.
Can we talk about the fucking host of this whole thing?
Who looks like a 80s Brandon Urie.
He looks like discount 80s Brendan Urie. It's so fucking bad.
He tried way too hard.
That needed to be the death of that bachelor. That dude was a fucking horrible mess.
That was definitely the Panic of that disco.
It definitely fucking was. And nobody had any fun at this disco after what happened here. Holy shit.
He was not victorious.
Fuck no. Nobody fucking closed the goddamn doors to this place, okay? Because everybody in that bitch was getting murdered.
There was no sense of rationality.
Exactly. Can we talk about Nick's fantasy? Look, he had to have been like, I want to be Mike Danton in Deadly Prey. This is my fucking fantasy.
Which I pointed out as soon as the sergeant rolled up and gave him the orders to take out the enemy. the freaking Deadly Prey sounding music popped up, and he was just loading them up with grenades, a freaking, sash of bullets, and a freaking Uzi headband and everything. He was going full on Rambo, Deadly Prey style.
It's all part of my Deadly Prey fantasy.
There you go.
Swear to God. That's exactly what happened. Where did this endless amount of grenades come from?
Also, how did they actually blow shit up? It was an imagination. It was like an hallucination.
So we want to know, like, where this kind of, like, okay, if the fantasy, does it take place in your head, or do they actually alter the reality around you?
Well, from what we've gathered in the beginning, they mess with your mind to believe that this is happening. So how is it that reality in their mind is affecting the actual reality of other people?
I'm not quite sure, but all I gotta say is that as this is happening, all of the fucking hobgoblins in this fucking club are shaking around everywhere, knocking drinks off the bar, popping up between women's legs under the fucking tables, and just it is the funniest shit ever. Because they're just like, wah, Gobluigi. So they fucking go knock all this shit down, and they're being gunned down. Nick is blowing shit up left and right. Can we fucking address the fact that he fucking blows himself up, or he gets told by his general to jump on a grenade and save his troops?
Because the general was trying to get Daphne to be a USO, to go and please all the troops when they're in the middle of the battle, blah, blah, blah. And you'll start right now. We have a bunch of troops out in the parking lot. And he's like, oh, well, I see that your boyfriend will be a problem, so I can just send him away. How about we start right now? Throws a grenade onto the ground and tells him, Corporate, save us.
So he jumps on the fucking thing and it blows up.
But it doesn't blow him up. He just incendiates, like just comes into a fiery column, and he just walks around.
Incinerates. He just he becomes the Human Torch.
And he's just screaming the entire time. Ah!
And while that's happening, the hobgoblin that's had Amy's brain taken over gets killed, and she comes to and she's all like, why am I dressed like a rock star video slut?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
And the bouncer's like, so no good times?
There's no good times, only Zool. Like, Zool Goblins, the movie.
Yummy.
So they go to the studio. Like, they fucking leave here and they go to the studio to find McCready because he's going to have the fucking answers to all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
The burglar comes back.
With fucking nunchucks.
2 pairs of them.
And confronts Kevin. It's time to finish this.
Here's my chance to impress Amy. He actually wins the fight, but I think only because McCready shows up and shoots the hobgoblin that has possessed the burglar.
No, the burglar was...
Or possessed Kevin, yeah. So that happens, and then magically, and I'm surprised this wasn't another hobgoblin controlling him for his fantasies, but magically, somehow, Amy wanna fuck.
She's no longer a cunt. Or she still is a cunt, but not so much as one.
He's impressed her now. Oh my god.
All because he knows how to wield nunchuck. Be ninja.
You know what the fucked up part is like the burglar had a gun pointed at Kevin at one point. He probably would have shot Kevin. He'd have died, and she'd have probably just walked over his body. You've embarrassed me, Kevin. How could you just die out like that?
And just go sleep with the burglar.
Jesus fucking Christ, that got dark.
Yeah, she probably would have.
Was sleeping with the enemy. He burgled your bitch.
Stole your virginity.
The clam burglar.
Blue oyster cult.
Blue oyster cunt. So, don't spit that. God damn it.
Don't fear the peeper.
Yes. Anyway, so they find out that the goblins have fucking ran back into the vault. And this is so weird, okay? If they want to be out when the day breaks, why are they hauling ass back into this vault? Is it because they're getting killed off left and right? I mean...
Their powers aren't working as strong as they thought they were.
Oh, no. So they go back, and McCready shuts the vault. And they're all like, well, I'm going to be retiring soon.
Well, because I got fired.
Yeah. So Kevin's all like, well, I'm going to have to, take the reins over and watch this.
And then McCree's like, nope, blows it up.
Yeah, apparently he filled the whole vault up with fucking like explosives and shit. And you brought this up too. Why didn't you do this decades ago?
40 fucking years ago.
And he knew that they were evil entities like a little while after they lived in the vault. Why didn't you blow them up?
How about the next fucking day?
No, how about 40 years later?
Because
or 30 or however fucking long.
Because
it was.
movie plot reasons. Still didn't make no damn sense because I'm still questioning that.
I am too. And it was really hilarious because Nick takes Daphne and goes and fucks her in the van, which, by the way, how the fuck is he still alive?
He comes in on crutches with like his left arm bloodied up. That's it. The fucker was on fire for like a solid 2 minutes. How is he not burnt like for skin graft? Nothing.
Well done.
Yeah. He was not harmed more than he should be. I'm like, oh, I don't understand this movie. And he proceeds to go and get off the crutches and goes and fucks his girlfriend. After the fact that Kyle proceeds to hit on Daphne and say, hey, look, I really think you're an awesome person. Throws a freaking flower corsage thing on her. I was like, oh, Kyle, you're so sweet. Then here comes Dick.
Nick the Dick.
Takes her away, and then he looks at McCree. He's like, hey, can I borrow your phone?
That was fucking hilarious. Which, by the way, can we also talk about the fact that Daphne was acting all happy and shit when her dude died?
Yeah.
Like, she never, like, mourned him at all. She was just like, oh,
yeah, just proceeds to move on.
But yeah, that shit was hilarious. McCready's trying to fucking call, like, people to get help, and then Kyle, hey, can I borrow your phone?
I need to call my girlfriend.
Credits. What the fuck?
That's Hobgoblins, y'all.
No, what the fuck? I don't know. Like, it's pretty goddamn clear-cut decision this week.
These puppet disasters
Yeah, disaster of puppets.
are pulling our strings.
God damn.
I mean, we both agreed that Hobgoblins had the upper hand because it was just comedic, like, mess. In every good way. I mean, granted, there was some good quality, like some of Ghoulies that we like, but overall, Hobgoblins it was so poorly done.
But it was much more entertaining.
It was an entertainment factor about that made it so appealing to us. And with 15 grand budget was definitely aware in this film.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely made a better film with not even, like, way the fuck less, like a microscopic amount of the budget that fucking Ghoulies had.
Yeah.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Toke it.
Why the fuck didn't we call this episode Disaster of Puppets?
Disaster of Muppets.
God damn it. This is funny as fuck to me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, these movies are like, if you want to scroll down to the show notes below and check it out on Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon Prime account, these movies are free to watch. Go torture yourselves and come back and listen to this and sympathize with us. Otherwise, you've just listened to every reason to probably not watch these movies.
I mean, at least watch like snippets of it.
Yeah, of course. Also, they made a sequel. That I don't know how or why, but there's a Hobgoblins sequel that the same director did. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I may watch it just to see.
Consideration.
Exactly. For your consideration, Hobgoblins 2.
We'll just talk about that whole episode. We were considering watching it. We wonder why. We need your input.
We need all of the input. So if you've seen Hobgoblins 2, tweet us and let us know that you've seen Hobgoblins 2 and if it's worth a shit. We love trash movies. We love cult films. We love B movies of all sorts. But
if you haven't figured that out by now.
Yeah, but goddamn, we're probably going to watch it anyway. But let us know what you thought of it if you've seen it. I mean, that's all I got to say about it.
I'm awaiting your comments, people.
Just right now, we're waiting for a comment.
We're berating.
I've been waiting for a comment. like you
to come into my feed.
Yes. So, without, without any further ado, we are online at supermediabrospodcast.com. You can listen to all of our past, present, and future episodes.
It's about time.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Also, we have moved over. Our new host is Libsyn. Thank you guys for making that move so much easier than we thought it was going to be. Like, so much easier. We thought it was going to be pretty difficult, but you guys made it like really easy and
user friendly.
God damn, it's fucking user friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still kind of going on there and editing like show notes from past episodes. So if it looks jumbled, like if you've listened to some of the older ones and the show notes are kind of crunched together, we're working on it, people.
Mm-hmm. Work in progress.
It really is. Grab some merch from us. God damn it.
We're moving on up with that shit.
Storefrontier.com/store/super-media-bros-podcast. We know it's fucking dumb, but go to the show notes. We will have a link provided. Click it. It'll take you right there. Buy a shirt. Buy a tank top. Buy a hoodie. Buy a zip hoodie.
Be classy as fuck with our shit.
Mm-hmm. We got new buttons in.
We did.
They're pretty nice.
Stylish.
If you would like a button, give us a rate, a review, and a subscription on any podcast platform. Screenshot it and tweet it at us, and we'll fucking send you a button.
Push our buttons so we can button you up.
That's right. We can pin ourselves right on your lapel.
We'll pin up for you.
Pinned up frustration.
Should be a name of an episode. Pinned up frustration.
Right?
Just talking about our merch.
God damn it. Not next week, but God damn it! On the next Cult Cinema Showdown that we're doing, which is going to be 2 weeks from now, I know it's your favorite and mine, Cody. We're going to be talking about Hamburger the Motion Picture versus Lunch Wagon. Hamburger the Motion Picture is something to just be experienced.
Like, we're not going to tell you have a choice. You will watch it.
It's on YouTube, like the whole fucking movie. Because like I'm not even gonna lie, I usually promote like go watch this on Prime, go watch this here. There's probably nowhere to get the movie other than eBay because it's expensive as shit to find it because it's such a rare thing. But it's on YouTube. Go watch the shit.
We mean it. Prepare yourself for 2 weeks.
I think Lunch Wagon maybe. Shut up. I thought we killed you. Fucking hobgoblins.
I'm going to do another ritual.
A ritual?
A Richie Wolf.
Yeah, that's it.
Richie, will you?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
When there's a Willis, there's a way, sir. But Hamburger the Motion Picture versus Lunch Wagon. Fucking do your homework and catch that episode.
Yes.
Because that shit's going to be hilarious.
Definitely.
Some special thanks I want to... Actually, we would like to both throw out. Some podcasts that have made mention of us in some of the recent episodes that we actually enjoy very much. The Aussie Bros from Down Under, fucking... Esoterica podcast. You guys are awesome. You're really, really kind gentlemen.
Rock on.
And we see you, Miss Producer Lady, back behind the scenes. You're nice too.
Yeah.
Beth and DJ, Untrained Eye. Ever so supportive all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out all their stuff. And if you like music if you like current underground music and you want it updated every week, Alternate Size Podcast. Fucking go listen to them too. And we definitely want to give a big thanks to FiXT Music. Kevin and the guys over there have been really awesome. And there are some awesome artists on the label.
Oh, especially one of our favorites, Pilot.
God, Pilot's on there. He just signed for his new EP.
And then another newbie of mine that I've been rocking out to, LeBrock.
Listen to LeBrock. It's not just a fucking Twitter handle, but listen to LeBrock. They're fucking awesome.
Check out Please Don't Cry and Juice for sure. That's probably my 2 favorite songs by them.
Absolutely.
God.
Check out probably any and all projects by Clayton, otherwise known as Cell Dweller, Circle of Dust, Scandroid. If you've heard some of these names, you know the guy behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So check them all out at FiXT Music and FiXT Neon, because fuck yeah. And if you want to follow us on social media, we'll give you the rundown.
Yet again.
Cody, draw up a circle so I can summon these fucking things, okay? Facebook.com/supermediabros. Twitter.com/supermediabros_.
Up your butt on
Instagram.com/supermediabros.
No ad now.
Come look at our stupid pictures.
Come now. Come now.
Kanda.
Hennessy. Ed. Oh, Ed. You have a big head. You have a big head, Ed.
Check all those fucking things out. They're going to be in the show notes below. Scroll up, click them, and do the things.
Like you do every week.
Wake.
Wake. I'm a week from the summoning. Oh.
God damn it. I think we're going to do a catch-all next week. We'll talk about some Captain Marvel. We'll talk about some new Monster Cat music releases. We'll talk about, probably further in depth, we'll talk about LeBrock, Scandroid, and some of the FiXT music artists.
And so much more.
Yeah, and so much more.
You know how we do. We just throw shit out there.
We throw shit out there like the drum rolls.
Wow. How about that shit?
That's right. That was Nightmare on Sesame Street, guys. Episode 62.
Or Disaster of Muppets.
Whichever you want to call it. For this week, I've been Midnight Agent Raw.
And I've been O'Connor.
Shades on.
We're off.